beach bums, my name is Rinn and welcome to another episode. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about moving with intention. I know I touched base on it in my About Rinn Kimmichi video. If you haven't seen that video already, go ahead and check the description, or you can click on the little eye icon up here to watch that video and check it out. But I wanted to elaborate on the subject and give you guys some sort of clarity or whatever. I just wanted to make some content, okay? So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Before we get into that though, my website is up, okay? The domain is right here, rinnkimmichi.com. Check it out. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Okay, give me a thumbs up on this video if you liked it. Share it with all of your friends. If you like content like this, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I post something different. I also have a Patreon and everything, posting like more exclusive behind the scenes content and stuff like that over there. So if you want to check that out, head over to my Patreon. Let's really just hop into today's video of talking about moving with intentions. So the first subject of interest that we're going to be talking about is being intentional with your time. And for me, that looks like being intentional with how I'm spending my time and who I'm spending that time with. So for example, I'm making it a point to only surround myself with people that are consistent. So when I say consistent, I mean that in a broad spectrum and across the board as well. So that would be consistency in how often we speak to each other and how we talk to each other. Consistency about where you are in your life and how you plan about achieving your goals. I think it's really important to surround yourself with people that are actually aligned and actually move consistently with intention, as opposed to aligning yourself with or associating with people that say they're going to do something but their actions prove otherwise. I used to spend a lot of time on relationships with people that aren't exactly who they say they are. I've had relationships with people where they say that they want to be super successful, they want to own properties, they want to run their own business, but their actions prove something completely different, like they're not managing their money properly, or they're not out networking or advertising the business that they said that they wanted to make. Because I am in a different space in my life where I'm not going to keep saying, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to go out there and physically do it. It doesn't make sense for me to surround myself with people of the latter mindset. People that aren't actually going to do it and are just saying that they will. Same thing goes for like friendships. I don't want to surround myself with people that say they want to be my friend, but they're not actively doing anything to prove to me, hey, I want to be your friend, I want to talk to you, I want to develop a relationship with you. Because if we're supposed to be friends, why am I the only one reaching out to you? Why are we not speaking? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's not alignment. And I'm not someone to be put on a shelf and displayed like, oh hey, I'm friends with this person. Like, no. And I don't treat people like that. So I would prefer not to surround myself with people that I feel like might be treating me in such a way. From my experience talking to a lot of people within my community, they seem to take consistency as a form of threat or a form of commitment. And commitment to them is a threat because they're not ready to be committed to any sort of relationship. When the reality is a lot different. The reality of consistency is simply holding yourself accountable and doing the things that you said that you're going to do, or being the person that you said you want to be. At least that's the way that I see it. According to Oxford Language, consistency is defined as conformity in the application of something, typically that which is necessary for the sake of logic, accuracy, or fairness. That's typically what I would be referring to when I'm saying I'm looking for relationships that provide consistency. So I want to operate with people on terms of logic and fairness. It doesn't make sense to me logically to have a friendship with someone that I'm hardly speaking with. And it's also not fair to me to be expected to be available or to hold space for someone that I'm not speaking to regularly. If I'm constantly the one that has to reach out to you and say, hey, I'm just checking in on you. I hope you've been doing okay. What have you been up to? Whatever. And I'm hardly ever getting a message or a response from you. Logically, it doesn't make sense to uphold a relationship like that. And for the sake of fairness, I think it's very unfair. A lot of people surprisingly take issue when I say that I expect consistency in a friendship, because they automatically assume that consistency means they have to speak to me every single day, or they have to always be available. And that's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we have to interact to a certain degree that makes sense logically, and that's fair for the both of us. Because if we're not interacting in a fair and logical manner, then there's no point in fostering a relationship with each other. A few of the ways that I make sure that I am consistent with the people that I keep in my circle is providing a level of consistent communication. And what I mean by that is I'm typically usually available to speak with my friends. I don't have such a crazy schedule at the moment that requires my undivided attention. However, that does not mean I'm not busy. I want to make that extremely clear. There's a big difference between being busy and being available to speak. Just because I'm available to speak does not mean I'm not busy. And I think that surrounding myself with people that also understand that and have that same mindset is very important for me. Because I also understand that people get busy and people might not have the time to, communicate with me or talk to me, give me their undivided attention. But if you want to be my friend and you want to build a relationship with me, most people that think logically and value consistency will make the time to do so because they care enough to, and they want to see the relationship blossom. Another way that I'm being consistent with my time is planning ahead instead of just doing things in the moment. Before, I used to just get up, grab my phone, and record a video with no plan at all. Now, I'm making effort to be more intentional with the type of content that I'm creating, how I'm creating it, what goes into the process of it being made, so on and so forth. When I initially took my Foundations of New Media Design class for university, I was really sort of like just throwing shit at the wall and hoping that something sticks. One, for the sake of time and convenience, and because I was in a very unstable financial situation at the time. Now that I have the extra time and resources to some degree, I can sit down and think about, okay, what is it that I want to create? How do I want to deliver this art piece, and why is it that I'm creating it? Instead of let's make some art because I'm an artist and I have to get something out, or people aren't gonna know who I am or that I even make art at all. That's part of the reason why I decided to delete all of the previous videos on my YouTube channel, because they were all filmed sort of just in the moment. And the ones that were planned, they performed a lot better than most of my videos. However, I could have done better. And because I know I could have done better, I decided to just scrap the whole idea and start from scratch. Because there's a completely different direction and vibe and feel that I want to go for when presenting my content for the world to see. And I'm not going to achieve that vibe or aesthetic or goal if I'm haphazardly doing things and not focusing on the quality of my craft. Another point of interest that I want to touch base on is cutting out performative social behaviors. And what I mean by that is during my last romantic relationship, I was focused more on being perceived as happy and healthy and thriving, and less on actually being happy and healthy and thriving. The actual state of my previous relationship was quite detrimental to my mental health, because it was not a healthy relationship by any means at all. It was very draining financially, emotionally, and so on. Being in that relationship became more of a chore and an inconvenience. and less of a fun romantic experience. I stayed in it longer than I intended to because the inconvenience that I would be burdened with the process of ending things. But here's the big takeaway. The longer you fester in a position that you are uncomfortable with, the harder it's going to be to mentally overcome it when you finally remove yourself from it. Whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's relationships with your friends, whether it's relationships with your family, if you're in a toxic position or an uncomfortable position that you would like to move forward from, but you're not uncomfortable enough yet to do anything about it, the longer that you sit there and fester, the harder that it's going to be to get over it when the time finally comes. Now, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy and care about things like public displays of affection, like holding hands and all of the other things, going on dates and, so on and so forth. But I'm no longer in the headspace where I feel like I need to beg someone for affection and attention in order to feel desirable and to be perceived as happy. If you're also someone that is struggling with the concept of putting yourself and your own happiness before the perception of other people, my unprofessional advice to you would be to take a moment to sit down and maybe write in a journal what your thoughts are at that moment, or record your voice, record a voice note talking about how you're feeling. I think recording a voice note is actually a lot more effective because you get those opinions out in the open and out in the air without feeling like you're being judged or observed or whatever the case may be. It's just you and your own thoughts and your own voice, and you get to play it back and take that in. You get to put it out, but you also get to take it in objectively and analyze, okay, so that's how I'm feeling about that situation. I would have never known that had I not taken the time to record myself talking about it. And then kind of go from there. The last way that I am moving with intention is holding myself accountable. When it comes to posting twice a week, don't hold me to it. Actually do hold me to it, because I need to be holding myself accountable and actually doing the things that I say that I'm going to do. I can't have these expectations on relationships and interactions and have these boundaries on what type of interactions I'm going to award my energy to and so on and so forth if I'm not going to be following all of that myself. I have to actually practice what I preach, and I'm typically very big on practicing what I preach. Now, sometimes I might, allow my feelings or opinions to overrule a matter or two, but for the most part, I pretty much practice what I preach. And I think it's only human to allow your emotions to get the best of you sometimes, So I will be posting twice a week. This video is proof because I already posted this week, and this is going to be the second video I'm uploading for this week. I'm also going to be trying to record some more YouTube shorts because I told myself that I was going to post 3 YouTube shorts a week, and I don't know how I'm going to manage to do that specifically because I'm really not used to recording short form content. But I'm going to do my best, okay? It's not about making the best quality of content in an unfamiliar field. It's more so about actually doing your best and putting forth a good effort. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to put forth a good effort, and I want you guys to hold me accountable while I also do my best to hold myself accountable. And although that last point of interest was brief, really, that's all I have to say for today's video. Yeah, meow. How you doing, sweetheart? You hungry? Yeah? I'll get you something to eat. Give me 1 second. She was not hungry. She just wanted to sit in the window. So we gonna make a compromise, okay? I'm gonna let you sit in the window, but I gotta wrap this up. So I am making efforts to be more intentional with my time, my energy, the the people that I surround myself with, and holding myself accountable. It's going to take a lot of work, but I'm going to see it through. That's why I had the window closed. I don't want to be interrupted by that. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode. My name is Rinn. I have a website. It's rinnkimmichi.com. Check it out. It took a lot of time to put that together, and you can buy my art there because, like I said earlier, I'm an artist, and in one of my next videos, I think either my next video or the video after that, I'm going to showcase a few of my pieces for you guys to look at. I do have my art showcased on the website, so if you don't want to wait, you can always go there and take a look. You can also join my Discord community. It's an online community where people can join and get to know each other, talk to each other, hang out, video chat, whatever. So if you want to make new friends and be a part of this community that I'm building, the Discord server is definitely the place to be. You get a lot of great benefits if you subscribe to the Patreon and you're in the Discord server. You get access to private channels and private events and things of that nature. So I think you guys should really check it out. It'll definitely be worth your time. But without further ado, as always, my name is Rinn, and thank you for watching.